it's Cindy here with Inky Fingers, back with Friday Book Haul. So please get cozy, grab a cup of coffee, craft, do something, because this is a big one. And I think it's also the indicator of my book moratorium, but we'll see. It's not my fault. I'm starting the video by justifying my book acquisitions, but yeah, this is a little bit of a bigger book haul because my husband had to pick up a piano that he got in an auction in London, Ontario, where we have one of the, I believe, 2 in Canada Goodwill outlet locations that I don't really go to very often because I actually don't find them all that fun to be in. If you're not familiar with what a Goodwill outlet is, it's like, I call them the bins of the lizard people, basically. So it's like, only because I've had some really weird experiences there. It's an overall strange thing. It's kind of like being cattle in a cattle auction kind of feeling. Like, so they have all of these bins that are full of random stuff. They do a good job though of kind of sorting it into like different categories. So there's bins with things like random household decor. Books, thankfully, are like, if you're gonna go, books are the safe place to thrift and not like feel like, what am I going to be digging through? And then other things are like books, or sorry, handbags and shoes is another category, and then linens and clothing is the category that creeps me out the most. So I don't really partake in the majority of that. I stick to just the books when I do go. So I dropped by there only for about 15 minutes, but I don't know why the sunshine is just shining down on me luck-wise lately with books, but yeah, that's what happened, because I basically waited there while they were doing a bin change out, and the first bin that they brought out just had a ton of old books in it. And so when I was checking out, I asked, is this typical? Like, do you always have like a lot of old books? Because I used to go there years ago when I was more of a toy thrifter, and that's where all of my scary experiences come from, of finding things that are like randomly wet and just like soiled. And it's yeah, wear gloves if you're gonna go, certainly wear a mask. I mean, I would have probably worn one even before the pandemic had I realized the experience there, because I'm pretty sure I've definitely gotten sick from being in there before. So I'm really particular, but there's a few things like that you will encounter if you're going to go there. So first of all, there are regulars, which are the people who know how the whole thing works. They go in, there's a limited number of carts that they park all around the outside of the store, and you're not allowed to like touch their carts, clearly, because it's their purchases, but like these people stay there all day long or for many hours. They're resellers, they're, I don't know, they're like rag trade kind of, a lot of people that do specific things. Like, nothing against their deal, whatever, but it can be a little intense, and they will they can be a little hard to deal with if you get in their way, to put it mildly. I've seen fights break out there. I've seen people just be really obnoxious. I've even had people be kind of obnoxious to me, and I'm a pretty, I would say, relatively timid person when it comes to like, you know, going through a bin to grab something. I'm not like the dive in and take it from you. I would not do that, but they will. So while I was there, it was kind of funny because there was like some young people, and I think they were shooting a TikTok or something, and the guy was hilarious. And I'll just tell you this little story before I show you the books, but I see these 2 young guys come in, probably around like 17 or 18, and they had the best sense of humor ever. They were like, okay, we're back again, here in the trenches. And like, I'm just kind of watching them, and later on I hear one of them say like, oh, you almost got elbowed. These people, they will elbow you, but it's not their fault though. They're the Goodwill people. And like, you know, they were just making a very shticky kind of video. And so there was this moment when the new bins were coming out, and so what happens is, like, if this is the bin, okay, people line up here, yeah, just on one side, the bin's rolled in, the staff shout, don't, you know, no touching until it's locked. So they have to lock the bin in place, and then they say like, go, and then people just start going crazy, right? So I was like, the boys were standing kind of at the end of the bin making their video and talking out loud, and all the people were lined up, and then I was on the other side of the other bin looking at the books, because it was the other side being replaced. And so at one point they came kind of close to me. They weren't filming me, but they were joking around with me kind of, but like kind of at me. So they're like, you see her? She has no chance at the stuff in that bin. She's on the wrong side. She's not even at the right bin. And I'm just like cracking up laughing. They were so funny. And honestly, that injection of humor into that place is the best thing ever. So, but one other thing I could say is the staff are awesome. They're very responsible, careful with safety issues, like, you know, kids can't run around, and they do get on top of people who are breaking rules or being rude, and they are not shy about those kind of things, which is nice. And then when you check out, they're very lovely. So when you check out, everything is done by weight, so that's why like you can get really great deals there. And I mean, I've pulled some incredible things out of there, I'm not gonna lie. It's just not for the lighthearted or like the germophobic kind of person. You need to be also very careful. They do have very clean bathrooms there that you can wash your hands and all that kind of thing, which I would do frequently. So yeah, that's my little chat about the London Goodwill outlet. So let me show you the books. So the books, I'll point out when that starts. So some of the other books I got from just my local thrift store, because I just did a ton of donating this week, and I thought, oh, I'll just take a look at the books. So I did. So this is the first book I found, which is a children's book, East of the Sun and West of the Moon by Mercer Mayer. And it is the loveliest book. So I love Mercer Mayer because he did the little, and all of a sudden I forget the name, but he's like the little brown monster kid Mercer Mayer books. Like if you Google Mercer Mayer, you will know what I mean. They're like, he's like this little, it's actually called like Little Critter, I think, maybe. Yeah, but this book's very different, and I want to read the story. A note about making the book. To prepare the artwork for the book, Mercer Mayer first made a very detailed pencil drawing on watercolor paper with all the shading and subtle tones he might want in the final painting. Then he contoured it. Yeah, wow, that's cool. They talk about his process, but like, look at the illustrations here. I have yet to read the book. There's a unicorn. But I just love the illustrations. And I thought like this could be a candidate for one of those books that I kind of try to make a journal with the whole book in mind. It's a very big book. It has this really pretty cover, but I don't know that I would use a book in this size format necessarily, but I really love the pictures. Okay, so this is from the same store. These books were $36 each, and I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for them to go on sale. There are 2 of them. So finally, they were down to $6, and it was the 50% off books day. I was like, yes! So I picked them up, clearly, because why wouldn't I? They were in like the special book cabinet forever, and then they were in the religious book section this week, so I was like, yay! So these books are actually, they're religious, but that's like not why I bought them. I won't use the religious content. That's not my, that's not a theme that I work in or anything like that. So it's character sketches from the pages of scripture illustrated in the world of nature. So they have these boxes, which are just lovely to begin with. I don't know that I'll necessarily use them, but they're nice. So they're these great big books, and the illustrator is not mentioned, which is so odd. It just says illustrated in the world of nature. It doesn't tell you anything beyond who actually did the illustration. They're Rand McNally, 1978. And they basically are like a lot of them relating nature to scripture, I think. I haven't really done the reading, but I just kind of read a little bit here and there. But the illustration style, I feel like it's like this looks exactly like Glenn Loatz's style, and I feel like it probably is Glenn Loatz's illustrations that they use for the nature stuff. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure this is Glenn Loatz. So anyhow, they have a ton. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? Yay! I saw the cutest groundhog. We went for a walk in the graveyard in London when we were there. They have the most beautiful, huge graveyard in London, and it is the most filled with nature place ever. Like, we saw groundhogs, skunks, a ton of deer. That's probably the most iconic wildlife that you see there. Obviously loads of squirrels and chipmunks and birds, and yeah, there's just a ton of nature there. It's really nice. So we went for a big walk and I had a nice day. We've got fish, we've got moths, we have all sorts of great illustrations. So I'll probably process these books to just the parts I'm going to use, which has become a really common practice for me these days, as I don't want to have a million books in my studio, and I'm not too bad at kind of making sure that I sort things out. So this is the box from the other one. And again, it's really pretty boxes. Not exactly sure if I'll use them or not, but this one's the same format. It's just more of the same kind of thing. And like, the interesting thing is, like, it's also filled with like books, facts about the animals. It's not all like, it's like there's the animal and the animal facts, and then they're put some kind of a scriptural reference to whatever animal they're talking about, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so it's mostly like world of nature, and then they do have like certain, big, pictures about scriptural stuff. So if you are into, like, how cute is that? If you are into, religious content, keep your eye out for these, or nature content for that matter. Or if you're into both, then it's a double win. So I'm just going to move these aside. These boxes would be great for using as like a folder to put all the materials in for a journal you're making, like putting all your papers and stuff in. I may use them for that. I usually use these big flat baskets, but that could be a nice way too. If you have any ideas. Sorry, hold on. Let me just struggle here. If you have any ideas how to use those book boxes, let me know. All right. All right, I have one more little bag of non-bin stuff, and then I'll move on to the bin stuff. Okay. Come here, little bag. Okay. Sorry. So I got this Little Mouse on the Prairie. These are a series of books from Serendipity with these lovely illustrations by Robin James. She has this really beautiful style. If you see this logo, a Serendipity book, it's all in this illustrator's style. And this one's about mice, and she has a very like 80s feeling iconic way of drawing. Like, you see the dragon that she draws. It's mostly in the eyes, I think. This is from 1978, and there's a whole hardcover series of Serendipity books. Like, one's called, I think, like Leo the Lop, and I can't remember them all. I have lots of them in my children's library for my kids. Portraits of Flowers. Never seen this book before, but I thought it was really nice. This is someone who does some articles for Harrowsmith magazine, which in Canada is like, I don't know that they make it anymore, but I absolutely loved it my whole life. Like, I love Harrowsmith, and I have a ton of vintage copies of it. So it is a beautiful book that I'm probably going to read first, because it's sort of about the earth and gardening and seasons, and then it has, I may not even cut this one up, to be honest. It has really beautiful black work block prints of different flowers, and it talks about the flowers, and it talks about like their history of their genus and that kind of thing. So I really like that book. I'll set that aside. And then this one I'm going to read with my daughter, and then I don't know if I will use it. I may. It's really sweet. It's Lost in the Woods, Carl R. Sams II and Jean Stoic. And it's the story of a little fawn. And it goes through, the adventures of a little fawn, and it has other forest creatures that the fawn encounters. And it's a very sweet little book that talks about, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago in some video or a week ago about if you see this in the woods, these little fawns, you don't disturb them. Their mommy left them there, and that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to just stay laying down while mom goes out and finds food for them. So it's a cute, cute book. Now this book looks so interesting to me. I'm going to read it with my daughter. I have to read it first though. I have a feeling it might have a theme in kind of book banning, which is certainly a topic for right now, and I'm really interested in talking about it with my daughter. But it's called The Last Flower, and I really like it. The illustrations by Lisa Evans, and it's just like I noticed it said like Brig worked in the library where dangerous books were stored, and then essentially it showed pictures of beautiful flowers, and then, you know, things kind of go from like dull and gray to, you know, brighter, and it seems like something's going on, so I need to read the book to see what it's all about, but I think I'm gonna like this story. And then I found a Care Bears book, because I do have in my docket of planning to get back on working on some of these, like, you know, nostalgia 80s, 90s kids journals that I've made in the past. I have a lot of themes that I want to work in, and Care Bears is one of them, and I just wanted to grab another book for that project. So this is the Care Bears Battle the Freeze Machine, and these are great books. I have a lot of them. I do pick them up whenever I find them inexpensively. I have like a collection that I read to the kids, and then I have the ones I'm collecting for journals. Okay. Are you all ready to start the bin stuff now? Okay. So with the bins, I'm not that like particular about what I grab, because all of the books I'm about to show you I got for probably $15, if that. I think $13, because I got a couple other things, like a couple of vintage toys. So the first is Ant and Bee and Kink and Kind Dog by Angela Banner. And I love the little, just the little shape of these. It was so cute. It looked like a different book I'd never seen. It's from 1963. And it's got like alphabetical, cute little illustrations in it. And it's got nice colors. And look at this koala. Seriously. The dog has a hat on. That's good. Owls. Yep. So it's cute. I'm going to put my phone aside. Okay. And then next I found this, The Spy. And I obviously bought it for the cover. It's very, very pretty. Very old book. It's from... Oh, there's my babies down here. Hello, my baby. Tickle, 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 tickle. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Hello, what are you doing? So I'm gonna just take a little minute. You wanna say hi? Say hi. And we're back. Sorry, my little visitor, he has... My 2-year-old never used to turn door handles. He just learned how. So probably you should expect a lot of interruptions from him from now on. Not just my daughter coming down to see me. He also will be wandering down here from time to time. So this book is interesting. It doesn't have a date. I think it's quite old. I think it's probably like pre-1950, if not quite a lot older. It's got a really interesting, like, messy print to it. Like, definitely the typewriter machine that, or the typing, you know, got very uneven here. So it's talking about the year 1780. I mean, it's probably quite old. It's probably like turn of the century-ish, this book. All right, next. So I got a bunch of these. I don't normally pick these up anymore when I see them because I have a few of them, but I do love making little journals out of them, and I love using the little pictures as the tabs in the journal. Like, I've made a few of them, and I've sold one like in my Etsy shop, but I've sold a few just like in a public little sales that I've done and stuff. People really quite love them. So yeah, I picked these up just because they were in the bins, and they're not in the most wonderful condition, but they're the nice older covers. They're not like the new shiny, like printed like this kind of covers. I also always love to use this particular page that's blank on back in journals. I think it's the sweetest thing. I don't know what the printing date of this one is. Yeah, it doesn't have it in there, I don't think, which is really common for Beatrix Potter's books. A lot of the times they don't have the publishing information. I'm trying to see, it was gifted in 1961. So, you know, they're pre-1960, at least that one is. I don't know if they all came from the same collection or not. I suspect they did because they were in, oh, this one is 1904. So yeah, they're 1900-ish, you know, early 1900. This one has the cover on it, and it's a red one. It's really sweet. See the date here, copyright. It doesn't have it, but I won't go through each and look. I think most people know that these are like usually 1900-ish. Then I got a couple more. I like the little green one. That's cute, right? The Jemima Puddle Duck. This one, I'm just going to check the date on this one because it's a different color. 1908. Yeah, so I think most of them are early 1900. We have a Peter Rabbit. And then I found this Bunch of Cherries, Mrs. L.T. Mead, and it's so cute. So I love the cover of this one, and look at these beautiful end papers. So I'm sure you can see why I couldn't resist. It was funny because my husband was like, you were in there for such a short amount of time. How do you have so many books? So this was gifted in 1914. But that's just because he doesn't understand my capacity for book hauling, right? He doesn't know. I don't see a date in here, but we know that it was gifted in the early 1900s. And then we have Beverly of Graustark. I've seen this book before. It was in the bin, so I grabbed it. I was like, why not? It was gifted in 1952. It has like a nice book plate here of her. 1904 is the date. It's weathered, definitely a weathered book. No other, oh, a few other pictures actually. Yeah, so it's got some nice book plates in it. It definitely wants out of the spine. Okay, and then The Tale of Mrs. Tittlemouse, The Tale of Squirrel Nutkin, The Tailor of Gloucester. Okay, and then this book I've never seen before, and it's beautiful. It's called And Some Brought Flowers, Plants in a New World. So this is a botany book, and it's really beautiful, illustrated by E.J. Revell. I feel like I've already said that name today in this video. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm having a weird deja vu. Okay, date 1980. So back here is biography. So every page, water lily. It has the image, the family name, the distinguishing features, and where it is. And then like some writing down here, like a verse from someone, from some book about the flower. So this one is the Wapatu, the walnut, and it has a verse by Thomas Anbury from Travel 1789, and another from John Howison's Sketches of Upper Canada 1821. So it's nice. It's kind of, it's got a mention for the plant from the book. That, you know, a book that mentions it. That was going to be a little hard to cut up. I may end up needing to put it in my library because I don't have this book, and I'm also a botany book collector, so that's a nice cover. Yeah, I'll have to probably just set that one aside. Okay. Then we have a weird, creepy toy in my bag. And some other stuff. Okay. Let me just pull the other bags over here. Sorry. Okay. An Account of Stostell by Canon Hammond. Nice size book, this gold color with this nice like bit up top. I really love these, the fly paper and the end paper. It's very subtle but beautiful. These are very delicate pages. Very, very delicate. There's the St. Austell Church Tower, and we've got a piece of like onion skin paper here. 1897, Skeffington and Son, Piccadilly. So yeah, it's got the cut pages too, which is always nice. We have a dog ear there. And it's got those like nice kind of smooth pages. It's got a few, I think, book plates in it. I think it's mostly black and white images though. Yeah, black and white. Then I found a Hans Christian Andersen story. I'm not really picking up these kind of books these days because I already have quite a lot of them, but I thought it's in the bin, I will pick it up. And this one is really nicely illustrated. To Joshua on his 4th birthday from Mommy. How cute. This is 1975. And it has really sweet illustrations. I especially love like these little kind of Thumbelina type images. This is beautiful. It's one of my favorite pages in the book. I always see this and then I'm like, I don't need it, and then I see that page and I'm like, I need it. So yeah. And then this one is really nice. Fishes by Brian Wildsmith. I love the painterly style of it. So it's just a little story about fish with lovely pages of fish. Yeah. And then a couple more of those kind of books that, you know, I probably don't need, but they're in the bin. Nursery Rhymes and Song. This one is Best Loved Nursery Rhymes and Songs, and it is from... I don't know. It was published by Parents Magazine for Playmore Inc. It's 1974 edition. So really lovely illustrations. They're like black and some other color usually. Yeah, like so. And it's mostly just children's poetry. But there's some nice, really fun illustrations. And I actually don't think I have this particular book, which is kind of nice. And then Enid Blyton's Best Ever Storybook. So Enid Blyton is a good one for getting pictures of fairies, gnomes, elves, those kind of critters. And this is from 1983. And again, there's always a lot of really fun illustrations. You'll probably find that there's stuff that you would use, stuff you won't use. It's really down to your style, but you know, I'd love these little creatures. Some of the other stuff I'm sort of like, you know, I wouldn't bother with that. The other thing about it though is it has nice large text, so you can do word snippets really easily, which I recommend as a car activity if you're a passenger on a long car ride. And a couple soft covers. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I picked this up just because, like, I like the illustration style. It's linear, right? It's like all sorts of little sketchy lines, and I thought I could probably do some fun stuff with this. I really think it's cute. Also, it's a really cute story. If you haven't, you know, read it or seen the movie, I would recommend both because it's a fun story. This one's drawn by Ron Barrett, written by Judy Barrett. And then I found a unicorn book. I know I just finished some unicorn journals, but I just thought this was really cute, and I totally was like, look, it's a unicorn and a giraffe. So yeah, I was enchanted to pick it up. It's so cute. Okay, then I found just this book, just the cover, and I like this. It's from Insurgent by Roth. I can use that. I'll take it. Happy Birthday with Aunt and Bee. So another little Angela Banner book. This one is from 1964, and it's very cute. It's got a little happy birthday on the back. So cute. So yeah, nice little pages. Really sweet little book. And then this one is Les Miserables, Victor Hugo, and it's a beautiful old book, and it's got some nice old pages in it. It's from 1954. Nice cut pages. Nice pages for making like making things from. Nice weight to the paper. I found a couple golden books that I don't, well, I might have one of them, but this one is Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse Flies the Christmas Mail and Little Lulu and Her Magic Tricks. We're missing the front of this one. It was like a Kleenex box, and so it got ripped, but that's okay. I just thought it was a cute little thing to pull out of the bin. Because I think that the bins are the end of the line. Like, if those books don't sell, I don't know if anything else happens for the books. I know that the clothing goes to like the rag trade, basically. It goes to like Africa, it gets baled, all of that sort of stuff. But this is Heidi Grows Up, Charles Tritton. So I got, I think, 3 books in this series that have these companion library covers. I really find them quite lovely. So yeah, I will happily use that. This was gifted in 1960, and it is from 1938. So it's got some black and white pictures, and it's got nice big text and very patinaed, lovely pages. And this, I think, is another in the series, The Prince and Pauper, Mark Twain. Again, got it for the cover. It's the same kind of style, but it's a little greener. And it's also around the same age, probably the same year. This one is 1909, actually. And it's the same kind of thing. And then this one, Cherry Ames, Mountaineer Nurse. I thought that was kind of funny. I didn't notice this. This is like an old piece of newspaper, Dutch style. Looks like a recipe, maybe. Jimmy Learns How Plants Eat by Evelyn Whitten. Jimmy Jenkins. That's cute. Bruce's granny hates me and all my folks, Eliza sobbed. Well, Bruce's granny is whatever. Who cares about her? Alright, Heartbreak Hollow. I don't know what year this was published, but I like the text. I like the color of the book cloth. And then this one, so this was funny. There was a guy who was standing beside me, and it was when they brought the new book bin out, so we were all like in the lineup, and there was this whole bunch of what I could tell were old books that they were tied together with like a jute piece of, you know, tie, and they were all the way at the back of the bin, which those are the books that are in the hopeless ocean that my little arms can't reach, because I have little short T-Rex dinosaur arms and I can never reach things that are like so far away. So I see him come with his like raptor arm, and you know, he pulls it and he puts it in front of him, and then he starts chatting. You know, he looked for a minute and then he put them down, and I said, oh, excuse me, are you finished with those? Do you mind if I take a look at them? And he said, oh yeah, they're all French. I don't know, I can't read French. And I said, oh, okay, well, if you have questions, let me know. Like, and so like I opened the bundle to see what was in there, and most of it I didn't really care for, but I did like the just the look of this. It feels really fun and weathered. The ideal system for acquiring a practical knowledge of French. So yeah, it's got like a Parisian address, and I just thought it was a nice looking book. So I left everything else, but I wanted this one, and then the rest went back. So this is the 1917 printing of this book. Very old, and it's got nice, like, translated English to French kind of stuff. Very patinaed pages, so I like it. It's a very nice book. It looks like it's been well read. Sorry, I just have to rebalance my little stack that's beside me here. Okay. Another little Beatrix Potter, The Tale of Johnny Town Mouse. Then Tabitha at Ivy Hall. I thought that was really cute. Ruth Alberta Brown. And I just like, it's a nice green book. So yeah, I thought it was cute. I love this. I love how she looks like so, I don't know. I'll go without supper before I will give up this drawer, and you may as well understand that first as last. I kind of like her. So yeah, this has a lot of character. One of my Roman numeral readers will tell me what this is. It's MCMXI. I feel like that's 1911. I could be wrong. But it has a little, look, it had a bookworm. It's got the little hole from the bookworm on the side here. And he doesn't live in there anymore. He left, thankfully. But yeah, I always love finding little bookworm holes. You don't find them very often, but every now and then. It's like a little book collector's kind of thing. And then I found one of these kind of gift books, the Little Big Book for Moms. So I always like harvesting the pictures out of these. It's a lot of Victorian style images. Also, I always find gnomes, and this is no exception. We have gnomes riding along on some white mice here. So we always get gnomes. There's music in them, there's verses. They're just kind of all things like, kind of like Hallmark feeling. Okay, pick up this bag here. Got one more big one here. Alright, so I also found a couple of random things of stamps. Beneficial insects. These are Canada stamps, 1 cent stamps, I guess. Yeah, so they're really cool. They were just hanging in the bins, so I grabbed them. The World Atlas of Birds. So I had to grab this because, you know, my love of birds, bird books. So it's a nice one. It's got really great sized birds for fussy cutting. And also, I don't think I have this particular book or any of the versions of its particular illustrations. Then I found another golden book, Fury Takes the Jump. I don't have this one. It's an older one from 1958. Set that aside. And I found another of these books. So I don't know if you watched my series on making like the flea market style journals. I used like tags, I think, that I made for those. I've done a video definitely on using this book, Kitty's Summer Holiday, from the Meet the Pets series. This book is so cute. It's unbelievable. I love the colors in it. And I love some of the images, especially the yellows and pinks. Like, there's just something really lovely about these books. I love them. That's one of the pictures that I used on one of the tags, I remember. This is printed in Yugoslavia. Interesting. Yep. And then I found an Alice in Wonderland from the Dandelion Library. Dandelion Library has Peter Pan on the back. So the Dandelion Library of children's book, you can always find them on the spine. You'll see this. So it's always 2 books in one. So you read through, you know, one side, and then you get to a certain point here, and then you're going to have to flip it upside down, and then you read the other story. So there's like a dividing page, and then you go over to Peter Pan here. And I always find that illustrations are really cool. Really nice illustrations. So, and this is no exception. I'll show you the book plates here. So really cute. particularly cute white rabbit. And then there's lots of black and white illustration, and then lots of color. It kind of goes back and forth between them. And they're relatively shorter tellings of the story, so they're condensed. So they're good for even reading to kids if they're the stories that you enjoy to read to your kids. Okay. Alright, back to some more old books. Rupert of Hentzau by Anthony Hope. And I like this cover. It's got like this castle here. It's quite lovely. This needs work, obviously. I'll have to replace the spine. It's old, though. It was gifted in 1946. And I think that the page that would have had the copyright date, if it had one, is actually missing. So, yeah, but it was gifted in 1946. Then I thought this one was interesting, The Revolt of Man. I just love the typography, and the cover itself is just nice. Also, the spine is nice, and then the back is as well. I mean, I'm sure it's not a pleasant story. It looks like it's missing the first few pages, but it's quite an old book. I'm thinking it's, you know, early 1900s probably. And then another of those Heidi books. This one has a really nice fly paper and paper, and it's that companion library. It is from 1939. It's got quite brown pages too. Okay, What Katie Did at School and What Katie Did Next by Susan Coolidge. I often see these books about poor Katie. This one has a really nice cover though. I haven't seen such a decorative cover before on the Katie books. I often see a white version, like a newer version that has this image on it, but this one's older. It was gifted in 1955, and it's from 1954. This is the first edition. So yeah, it's got color pictures inside, book plates. Then, The Handbook of Quotations by Edith Ordway. So this one I just thought had actually nice content in it. Someone has put like black marker on the edges. It's got lots of different kinds of quotes of all different things in it, and I feel like this is a nice kind of book to just, you know, cut little quotes and things out of. Yeah. Okay. A Popular Schoolgirl by Angela Brazil. I feel like I'd like to tell her story. I like this book a lot. This is an interesting little... My arm is strong, my stride is long from drinking milk each day, so it won't be fun for anyone who takes this book away. So that'll be a nice thing to just leave, I think, in the cover. This was gifted in 1944. Let me see. We have a date. Does not look like it. Does not look like it. No. Okay. There are some illustrations apparently, which are so hard to find when there's so few. They're in there somewhere, I'm sure. I will look later and not make you wait. Alright, and then this one I thought was really pretty. This is Lucy Maud Montgomery book, Anne's House of Dreams. And see, it's purple, first of all, which you don't find a lot of old purple books, really. And it's got this beautiful, like, lattice work and rose kind of border. It was gifted in 1922. And there's the book plate there. The onion skin. And it's from 1917. To Laura, in memory of the olden time. Nice pages. Okay. Deerslayer look at this cover though. How like Art Nouveau feeling, right? Just beautiful. I think I actually have like this perfect thought in mind for this book. Priscilla from Release the Crafton has like a huntress like kit, like a god of, I forget now, but it I think would be really, really fun in here, and I could use some of the original pages. This one, it's a little dusty on the edge there, just a little tiny bit of dust. I just want to get off there. So yeah, it's very old. I don't have the date, I don't think. Is this the front page? Hold on, I think it is. Oh yeah, I missed some pages maybe. You don't know. Maybe I didn't. It doesn't have the date, but it's really lovely and old. It looks very turn of the century. And then this one, Graustark, The Story of a Love Behind a Throne. So this is the second Graustark book I think that I've gotten, but I just like the cover as well. I like the color. I like the stamp in the front here too. Field's Drugstore. I'm guessing it was sold there. It's 1901. Yeah. Okay. So I think my next two journals I'm going to be focusing a lot on obviously using some covers, because I'm getting a lot of old book covers, and so I want to use them up and make some beautiful journals. Prairie, right? How beautiful is this? Look at that spine. It's so nice. This is, I don't know the date, but as you can see, probably 1900. Oldie. The End of the Rainbow, Mary and Keith. I like that. I thought that was a lovely name for a book. Gifted in 1957. 1913 is the date. Okay. One more small bag to go. All right. Here we go. Oops. Hold on. Okay. This one is not for tearing up or journaling. It's a lovely book I want to read called Remember Me by Lisa Takuchi Cullen, a lively tour of the new American way of death. So I'm a huge Caitlin Doughty fan. If you're not aware of Caitlin Doughty, she has an amazing YouTube channel called Ask a Mortician. She's a mortician, and she's very into the Green Death movement and sort of helping people to embrace some kind of like, you know, a healthier understanding of death. So this is kind of a thought adjacent book to Caitlin. So I want to check it out. Then, what else do I have here? Oh, this book, The Edwardian Lady, The Story of Edith Holden. So I have many copies of this book, I think. But this one was different. It's not the green cover, it's this cover. So I picked it up because it was, you know, in the bin, so why not? And I do think it is the same book though. Yeah, it is. It's the biography of her. And they had in a local bookstore, I saw like a couple more copies of this lately, like just the biography, but I didn't pick them up because I have a few, and I think what I want to do is make sort of a few Edith Holden journals soon, you know, as I get to it. And then this, Love Among the Butterflies, The Secret Life of a Victorian Lady, Margaret Fontaine. So this book, never seen before. It's kind of a plain cover, but I want to read this. This is probably going to go into like just my book collection. You know, but if you like these kind of stories, right, of like these early women who were just discovering things, I think this is another Really nice one, and I think she lived a very like naturalist type life, where her focus was on butterflies, I think. Yeah, so Miss Margaret Fontaine was a Victorian lady who traveled the world netting butterflies and men in almost equal quantities. Good for her. And it's not always easy to tell which catch the affectionate diurnal Lepidopterus prized more. I'd probably go with the butterflies, to be honest. So yeah, I like her. She is amazing. Let's set that book over here with my Don't Cut It Up books. Let me just lift up the bag here. Okay. Back to old books. So this is Chambers's Etymological Dictionary of the English Language. What a way to have to say a dictionary, you know, how excessive. Okay. This person was writing like the birth, like born 25 August 1885. In the front of their book, there's some handwritten notes here. It's kind of nice. When's this from? 1903. So it just says like Mrs. T.D. Sanborn, Mary Atkin Miller, and her daughter Margaret Sanborn. I don't know these two words. It's really hard to read. Summer of 1961, left by air from Pentwick Airport, 1st of September. 9 years previous, she with her son John. I don't know. Just a story about somebody. So I don't know what makes this etymological or sevenfold. Folded 7 times. Multiplied 7 times. See 7 and fold. Yeah, I don't know what makes it etymological other than it has the spread out translation of the word. I don't know. I don't understand what the use of that word is in this context. And then this one, The Old Orchard by Mac Chloe. Just a beautiful cover. And it's from 1903. I feel like a lot of these books are from 1903. I feel like they all came out of the same collection. And then The Cuckoo Clock by Mrs. Molesworth. Illustrated by C.E. Brock. I love the picture. Sorry about that. I had to change batteries for the first time ever during a Friday book haul. That should tell you how long this video is going to be. So look at the cover. It's so nice. And then the pictures inside are beautiful as well. This one is... It feels very much like the Bookhouse books, honestly. It's a newer book. It's 1980. But the original was 1931. And it's just lovely. Okay, we're almost there. A couple more to go here. Quick with these ones. Okay, so this one, beautiful cover. John Halifax Murdoch. 2222. No date. Oops. Macaria. Beautiful woman on the front. Lovely book plate. No date. Ishmael. Beautiful cover. Nice book plate. No date, I don't think. Nope, no date. And then the final two here, Self-Raised. Love the cover again, and the back as well. Look at that inside. Isn't that amazing? Just amazing. 1911. Nice old pages. Beautiful little book. And then this little bitty one. Look at the cover. Isn't that gorgeous? Little Minister. I've seen a few different versions of this one. But I like that it doesn't have the title on the front, which is nice. It's just a beautiful little book cover. And this is 1898 is the last copyright in it. So okay, so thank you so much for joining me for this huge book haul. Yeah, I need to get making journals now. So you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you again soon. You can check out the links below in the description box to find my shop and other social media, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye for now.